Hello guys, breaking down the 8-game NBA slate for Saturday. Milwaukee and Charlotte. Milwaukee's going to be on a back-to-back, and they have rested Giannis on some of these games, so we're going to have to monitor the situation. For right now, Giannis is going to be a top play. On an 8-game slate, you have Giannis, who is just playing a lot of minutes this year in a close game. Charlotte, they definitely are a much improved team, so I do think that they can keep this game close. So Giannis is going to be my favorite play. Portis 4,200, regardless if Giannis is in it. Obviously, if Giannis is going to be out, Portis is going to be one of the best value plays of the slate. Overall plays, really. If Giannis is going to play Portis still, he has some value, 4,200. He can pick up a minutes with different players getting into foul trouble, blowout run, all of that. Charlotte side, Hayward, he's fine, 7,300. Bucks, tough matchup, but they do a lot of threes. We've seen this for 2 years now. Graham, Rozier, they take a lot of them. So I think this is a spot where we can see one of them go off. So for tournaments, again, these are the guys that you want to target. LaMelo Ball, 5,600. He had a good game. I think his price at this point, you can definitely start playing him. If Graham or Rozier were to get into foul trouble, it's going to be a direct benefit for Ball. And then you add in that they play 3-guard lineups. This just helps LaMelo Ball's minutes. Still, right now, though, it's not really high enough where I feel like I have to play him. Zeller, 4,500. His minutes were actually pretty nice. He got into foul trouble in the second quarter, so he probably could have played around 30 minutes, which that's going to be really good for any center in the league. And Zeller, certainly, he's not terrible. Milwaukee, a lot of teams have actually just decided to let their centers play. A lot of times it's been, they don't want centers being pulled out to the line because of Brook Lopez, but a lot of teams rather have a big body in there to defend the basket. With Giannis, Miles Bridges, 4,300. He's fine. Tournament play. He needs to get hot scoring the ball, though. So he's always just, a very deep tournament play. Portland side, Damian Lillard, 10.6. I prefer him over Giannis for spend ups, and I think we're going to have the value. So you might actually be able to put Lillard and Giannis in a lineup and make it work. So Lillard, the Bulls, it's just a team that we like to target over and over. Portland's defense just hasn't been great, so you're not really scared of a blowout here. Chicago, I don't see them blowing the Blazers out, so I like Lillard a lot. They're really bad against pretty much every position, so Canner, center, they're playing Daniel Gafford, who's just not really played well right now. His minutes also are being very limited. They go small a lot with Lauri Markkanen, who's just not physical enough. Thad Young at the 4. They just don't have the guys that can match Canner's size and rebounding, so Canner has some good upside. His price is a little bit, I would say it's really fair, but I think some people might say it's expensive just because we haven't seen Canner at this price, but I think he can definitely be tournament winning center. Melo, 5,500. If Covington's out, I think he's going to be a good play. Again, Chicago, just, you can play pretty much anyone. Gary Trent, he's really shot dependent. He's been shooting really well the past 2 games, but, at 5,200, Rodney Hood, Rocco possibly being back. Derrick Jones is out, but I think that he's just a little bit too shot dependent, not a guy that I really want to go to. Anthony Simons, 4,400. He's okay. Rodney Hood, 3,000, fine as well. I feel like one of these guys that aren't a lock to close. They just, they fill up the minutes, at least 20 minutes a game. Simons, Hood, Trent, Rocco, he'll usually play more than 30 minutes. But just these guys, they're secondary pieces that they could definitely make for good value plays because, especially Simons and Hood, they are pretty cheap. Trials, he gets some minutes. This is definitely a match we can take advantage of. Chicago, again, just very weak against big men. Chicago side, Levine, 8,800. I like that. Portland, again, just bad defense. I don't think his ownership is going to be that high because I think a lot of people just want to pay up all the way up to Lillard and Giannis. So I think he's kind of a good play, probably a little bit too lower owned. Kobe White, 6,900. I like him. Again, he just needs to shoot well. Now, his percentages aren't that great, but when he does have those good shooting games, he has 50-point ceiling. So Portland, nothing to be afraid of. I do like him. Lauri Markkanen, 6,600. He's good as well. Still without Wendell Carter, he's playing a lot of center minutes, so you're getting increased block and rebounding opportunities. Thad Young, 5K. I don't want to chase that. I know the matchup's good, but just coming off of pretty much a career game at this point for his career. For Thad, I don't want to play him at 5K where his ownership might be a little bit inflated. Satoransky, 3,500. His minutes were good. If Kobe White doesn't have a good game, Sato directly benefits. And he's really cheap. He's someone we've played before in the past years. He definitely has a good upside in the right positions. So this could certainly be one. Daniel Gafford, 3K. I know it hasn't been great, but again, Portland's defense has not been good either. So if you're looking for a pure pump play at 3K, know that he's not going to play a lot of minutes, probably capped at like 20. So, it's not really a high floor, but, center is cheap if you need it. He's worth a shot. Sacramento, they're playing on a back-to-back as well. I think everyone is pretty much okay. I don't think anything stands out. Maybe you can say Hassan Whiteside 3,200, also just a cheap center play. There are going to be a lot of cheap centers on this slate. I think Whiteside's the best one just because he has the highest ceiling by far. If Holmes, Bagley, those guys get into foul trouble, or Luke Walton just doesn't want to play them because sometimes it just happens. Whiteside, he's not, the coaches don't really like him, but when he gets some playing time, he's one of the best fantasy producers in the game. And then into revenge narratives, Miami, Eric Spoelstra started to just basically not play him a lot. So Whiteside could be pretty motivated as he can be in this spot. For the regulars, though, nothing stands out once again. Halliburton 4,900, he has a chance for 30 plus minutes. So, if you're looking for between all these guys, I think I prefer Halliburton over like this range. Fox obviously always going to be fine. Miami side, don't really know what to do right now with a lot of guys questionable. So, if all these guys are going to be out, then bam, he's fine. Kendrick Nunn probably going to have a lot of ownership, but rightfully so. Gabe Vincent could be a value play, but don't go overboard for this because he's someone that somehow he got a lot of minutes last time, but I wouldn't expect Iggy to return now. And Vincent's just not that great of a player. Matchup's fine, but his minutes, we saw 2 games ago, they were short on bodies, but Vincent still didn't get the minutes, so it's not a lock for a good value play. Houston side, again, just the minutes. John Wall, they've been very cautious with him. They've said it with Eric Gordon as well. So I think John Wall, though, because he did get into 30 minutes last time, we can definitely see him play more, and his price tag is coming down. So he's not even shooting well. So you get a better shooting game. You get a few more minutes. New Orleans, we saw a great high-scoring game the day before. I think Wall could definitely be a good value, or just a good play overall, but there's some guys I prefer right now, slightly ahead of him. Oladipo, good as well. Wood's fine. But something that's a concern with Wood and Cousins is that they were willing to play without them at center. So a 48-minute split is what we expected for Wood and Cousins, but you didn't get that last time. They combined for like 41 minutes at center. So that's even going to be harder for Wood and Cousins to get the minutes that they need at these price tags. Cousins definitely just don't play unless Wood is out. And then for New Orleans side, Ingram, Zion, they're going to be all fine. I would prefer Ingram again, just there's a lot of more assist upside with him. Zion, he had a really good assist game. I wouldn't expect that again. Houston's defense has actually been pretty good recently after the trade. So, it's not like an elite defense yet because it's only been a few games, but just not, a team that maybe you really absolutely need to jam all these guys in your lineups. I think Lonzo's going to be very high owned. He did great. Hopefully, you played him. This was a good spot for him against Milwaukee. Just coming off of a really good game already. Maybe he was motivated by the trade rumors. 5K is definitely too cheap, but again, we've seen the kind of floor that he has. He can get you like 12 fantasy points. It wouldn't be surprising. So Bledsoe could be a good pivot because Lonzo was getting all the spotlight, but Bledsoe had a really good game. It was a revenge spot for him. So I think New Orleans overall as a team, they're really underpriced. JJ Redick actually didn't even get off the bench, so that was really surprising. They ran a short rotation. So if that's going to happen again, then Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I would expect everyone to play for this back-to-back. So because they're all young, so I don't think Nas going to be in play. Josh Hart, though, he's going to benefit if Redick's going to be on the bench again. For the Lakers side, AD questionable. I would expect him to play because this is a game that is they're going to need him more. So if that's the case, Boston game should be close. I'm going to like AD a lot. I prefer him over LeBron just because they don't have the size, and they do have some good perimeter defenders. Jaylen Brown, Tatum. They have guys, Smart, just that can at least provide some resistance against LeBron. AD, they don't have the size. Tristan Thompson, Daniel Tice. Tice is undersized. Tristan Thompson's just not that great of a defender, rim protector. So I like AD a lot. If he plays, if he's out, then again, we can go to Harrell, Schroeder, Kuzma. So wait and see for the Lakers side. Boston, Kemba Walker, going to stay through the end of 30 minutes limit again. So I prefer going to Tatum. Jaylen Brown's fine as well. Daniel Tice, Tristan Thompson, I expect them to get more minutes, especially if AD plays, but Minutes doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be good fantasy plays because their prices, they're not expensive, but you're also sacrificing a valuable center spot. Tice at 4,800, like they didn't play him a lot last time, and when Tristan's healthy, they can go with Robert Williams, they can go with Grant Williams, they'll go small, like anything. So they just aren't involved in the offense, especially when all the main guys are healthy. Memphis side, they've been off for 12 days, so I do like John Morant, 7,100. Yeah, the layoff has been not too extended, so I don't think that the minutes are going to be that much troublesome. But in general, Memphis, they don't run heavy minutes. Jaws is the guy that does play the most minutes, so this is a good spot. I prefer him over John Wall. That's why I didn't go with Wall. 7,100. I just think Jaw has a lot higher of a ceiling, and without Joval, there's a lot more usage that has to go around. So I like Jaw a lot. Brandon Clark, he's also going to play a lot of center, so I like him 6,300. And then Xavier Tillman, I want to play this game last time, this guy, and 3,500, they didn't move his price, and he's just too good of a play. San Antonio, one of the weakest rebounding teams, they just struggle against big men. Tillman, someone that is a little bit more mobile, not huge. I think he's 6'8", so he'll play power forward center with Clark. I do like him. I think he's too cheap. He got to 20 minutes last time. I think that's where we can expect him because Joe Val, Jaron Jackson's still going to be out. Gorgeous Zhang, unless Zhang gets a spot start, which I don't really expect it because San Antonio, they don't go that big. They play Aldridge at center, DeRozan at the four, basically. Grayson Allen going to be out, but they can just put in D'Anthony Melton because Melton didn't even play and he was just the coach's decision, DNP. So he's just filling Grayson Allen minutes. So it's just going to be Jaw mostly, Tillman, great value play, and then maybe Clark. San Antonio, they're underpriced. Again, just all of these guys, I think they're in play. Aldridge, it's a concern that he didn't get the minutes. This time, he's someone that still has potential for a great game. So for tournaments, I'm still going to play this guy, but cash, stay away from him. I think it's much better to go with DeJounte Murray, 1,600. Memphis, they're also a pretty good matchup. They play pretty fast, actually. So DeRozan, Murray, Keldon, they're all fine. Derek White, 4,800. He didn't play for Friday, but I think Saturday, because of the back-to-back, they didn't play him. He should be back for this game, and if he's back, it's going to eat into Mills, particularly, and then Lonnie Walker. Probably going to come off the bench, though, so minutes probably going to be capped at maybe like 20. I think Murray's still fine because when White played that one game, Murray still got to like 30-plus minutes. And on a back-to-back, Murray actually played 41 the first time, and then second leg, he played 36. So I'm not really scared about Murray's minutes. So I prefer DeRozan probably slightly because of the point guard position. I think it's really stacked, so I'm going to put DeRozan as my favorite Spur, but Murray's really close right there. And then on to the next game, we have Phoenix and Dallas. Dallas back-to-back. Phoenix still going to be without Booker, so Chris Paul I'm going to like a lot. Last time was a blowout, so Chris Paul didn't really need to play. A lot of the guys were also playing really well, so Paul's just fine, letting the other guys cook. And he's fine. Dallas has been destroyed by centers. Gobert just dominated them twice in a row. And Conley, if you look at the defense by position, they actually the best at limiting point guards, but Conley, he lit him up. Like Conley had one of his best games ever this season. So Chris Paul, same thing, Mitchell was out, Booker's out here. So Paul, he's going to be tested a lot. This has a lot of upside. So he's fine. I think I prefer Crowder and Cam over Bridges just because of the prices. Like they're pretty much the same player. They'll get steals and blocks. Bridges more so, but their assists are low. Their shots, they just need to hit them. Like they're not going to create really for themselves. I don't want to chase Kaminsky. Carter, he was out of the rotation, so it's tough to go with the value guys for the Suns. Dallas, if Porzingis is going to rest on a back-to-back, then there's going to be a lot of value. A lot of these guys, though, they did return. They just returned, so the minutes aren't really, safe. Luka's going to be a core play then. If Porzingis is out, that basically changes the slate then. If Porzingis is in, I do like him for a bounce-back spot. He only played 25 minutes because of foul trouble, so wait and see for Dallas. Now, Detroit last game, late night hammer. Grant, 7,800. I like that. Golden State, not a team that I want to fear. And still just, Grant has been really good this year. With Rose healthy, though, I don't want to go to DeLon at that price. Blake is fine, 5,900. Plumlee, good as well. Golden State, not good against centers. So, just basically the starters, though. Rose, 5K, I think he's fine, but, you really need him to pick up an extra rotation, more minutes, which he could do. You don't know if that's going to happen, though. So, really risky play. Now, Golden State, Steph Curry, 9,700. it's tough to play him because of Lillard and some other point guards. So, he has just as high of a ceiling as anyone on the slate, but I can't really play a lot of him just because it is an 8-gamer with a lot of point guards. Wiggins 6,300, he's fine. Oubre 6K. These guys, they all feel just secondary plays like Golden State. It's gonna be the Curry show. Draymond, he's not been shooting the ball a lot. Like he was okay taking a lot of threes previous years, but this year he's been pretty reluctant. Oubre, I probably prefer Oubre over Wiggins just because of savings, and I think the forward position is going to be harder to fill than guards. So for the core five, I'm going to have to go with Damian Lillard right now as my pay up option, and then a lot of guys are going to come from this game, so I'm going to go with John Morant, and then I run it back with DeRozan, and then Xavier Tillman as the value play. And then the fifth guy is going to be Chris Paul. So point guards, it's a really stacked position. Like I probably would have for sure John Wall. I would have put him in there, but these guys I just prefer right now. So this is gonna be the core five. I'll make sure to update you guys as usual on my Twitter at Boffles. Link will be in the description below. And if you have any questions on the slate, I'll make sure to update the plays. Hopefully, I have more time tomorrow with it being a 5 p.m. block. But do expect a lot of late news tomorrow. Last news just because of all the resting load management stuff. So again, good luck on the slate, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.